Welcome back to a new video, and this is the second part of the updated tower tier list. In the last one we did all of these towers. I think there's 5, we did 11 towers, and we only have I think 11 to go. So we'll try and get through these as quick as possible, but if you wanted to see any reasons for any of these being in their position, check out the previous video. It will explain everything. Glue Gunner is going to be our first sea tower. I know people love Glue Gunner, but really when you look down on it, the only path that's really that viable is top path, and that's only viable for ceramics. If you're not killing ceramics, then it's not that good. I'd say bottom path, slowing of Moabs, doesn't even work against bads, I'm pretty sure, even though it can go on bads. I've never really seen a bad get slowed that much, or any slower. It doesn't really work on bosses either, I don't think, so you have to go down middle path where you do a bit of extra damage. Again, doesn't work on bads or bosses, so you're limited on what you can really do with the Glue Gunner. I think that's quite fair, but can be used in a lot of situations. Heli Pilot, we're going back up the tier list now, and Heli Pilot is going in S. The reason Heli Pilot's in S and not in S plus or S plus plus is because although Heli Pilot is very good and very solid by itself, and microing can also help, it's lacking in damage. And I'm not talking damage within, you can do hard mode and that's fine, but we don't just play hard mode on balloons, do we? So when you're doing something a bit harder, like Impoppable, awful against DDTs, really in any tier, any path. Apache is probably what you'd go down, but on top of that, you know, you can get camo and you can get lead, but you wouldn't really go for any of them. Support Chinook and I think it's called Speckled Corporations with the Comanche defend pack, whatever it is, aren't widely used and are very much niche towers, but I think for its ability at lower tiers, it's a very, very good tower. Ninja, being one of my favorites, is also going to join its way in S tier. Is it S tier? Maybe an A tier. I'd like it so much, but I don't know if I can. No, it's Paragon brings it up. So, a very good combination tower. So, if you want to go for either the low round Alchemist and Ninja combo, or the later game top path Master Shuriken and Shinobi Tactics, you can do multiple things with the Ninja. However, its damage output isn't that strong. Even if you get Perma Brew, it is quite strong then. Still not great against single target, but I think it really shines when you get to its final form, let's say, at the Paragon. Although again, it's still not very good against single target. Absolutely melts anything else. Even non reinforced bads. Very, very, very strong against still. And I think it is solid at S tier. The Buccaneer makes it to S plus, and actually doesn't make it to S plus plus, even though one of my favorite towers. We have the bottom path money making, middle path pirate, and top path carrier. I couldn't think of the word there. It has very strong paths, but I'd say it also is very strong at mid to low tiers as well, which a lot of towers struggle with. However, we all know why it's at S plus and, you know, so much higher up than it probably should be for just its base tower, and that's because the Paragon is one of the sole reasons for the highest rounds you can make it to. The Navarch of the Seas is not only breakable in the sense where you can break it so you can get constant suck ups, bad suck ups, even though you can normally only get 2, it can suck in bads, which is very, very strong, I guess, against the reinforced bads. And I think that's a very comfortable reason to call it S+. We're actually getting our second S++, being the Wizard. I think there's only a couple S++ towers, and a lot of people don't agree with this, and I don't understand why. Camo lead, bottom path is super, super strong, even though they nerfed it. Still super, super strong. Arcane Spike is very strong, and middle path, we don't use it that much, but got buffed heavily about a year or 2 ago, and does significant damage now, even though some people still don't seem to see that. I don't use the middle path that often, but obviously you can, and obviously some people still do, and it does a lot of damage. It's a bit of a weird one. You can go normally for just a 3, but Flame Wall early on is very good. I mean, I don't see any reason this can't be an S++ tower. A lot of people might argue with it because Archmage isn't the best tier 5 for its price, but every other tier is pretty strong, especially the bottom tier, which can camo balloons. It's got to be an S++ tower in my opinion. So Sniper being an S+ makes a lot of sense to me. Middle path isn't great, however can make you a bit of money where you can't make money. Bottom path, obviously it's got the machine gun, a very, very strong tower in bosses and in regular game. Great single target damage. And top path has main Moab. Strong, but again, it's more about the lower tiers and the fact that it can pop camo lead so early. Very good for ABR. One of the ones I'd recommend for ABR, to be honest. I think there's no reason not to use the Sniper Monkey, and there's no reason it can't be S+. So a Tack Shooter is actually going to be in S tier. It seems very similar to a lot of the towers it's with. Permaspike is very strong. The middle path is used for a lot of challenges, even though that's not very important. It does do a lot of Moab damage, and you have to understand that. And top path, even though it's not great, which I admit it's not great, it does do a lot of damage and can see camo and leads very quickly. So it's hard to argue with its pure damage output. That's why it's not an S++, because it's so expensive in certain situations, but very, very versatile and can be used for a lot of maps, especially maps like Workshop, where you have a very short run and you just need to kill the Moab. Sub, I think quite easily people wouldn't be too angry if I put in S+. We all love the sub. Very cheap at the start of a game. You can get a few of them very quickly, and they do quite a lot of damage, especially on muddy puddles and bloody puddles. Bottom path is very, 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 very strong. Top path is also very strong, decreasing ability times as well, and increasing hero XP times. Middle path is very good for bosses, so I think there's no reason why we can't say the sub is an S+. I think it's a very, very, I said a lot of times, a fair shout for where it should be. Tack Shooter is where the Tack Shooter should be in S++. One of the best price to damage towers being in the Tack Zone. Inferno Ring is just as strong, unfortunately let down by its middle path, but we can forgive that for the fact that the Tack Zone has one of the best tier by tier price to performances out of any tower. Tack Shooter can do leads, unfortunately can't do camos, so I think for that reason a little bit weaker, but again such a good tower, and I don't think anyone's going to argue with the placement. Village is going to be at S+. This is purely because middle path is very underused. You have to use it in higher rounds, but you wouldn't really go that far apart from mid. So it's not a very good tier 5 tower. Obviously the top path, again, primary expertise is strong, but at the end of the day, it's actually more efficient 9 times out of 10 to just get another tower for the 30k it's going to be. And the bottom path is really a gimmick, sometimes used in boss events to put down more farms. But being able to see camo and increasing the range on primary monkeys is very strong, and I think that still warrants an S+. And we all know where the super monkey's going. Probably the best tower here. These aren't in order, by the way, but I'll just do that anyway. The super monkey with its VTSG is just on a different level. Some people would argue with the towers I have in S++ and saying that I should move everything down one and just put the super monkey by itself because it is that far ahead. The VTSG is so strong. The Dark Knight with top path is also very strong. It's not just a tier 5 gamer, it's also a tier 3 gamer. It's the only reason I was able to do I think it was impoppable with tier 2 towers, really the only reason at all, and that is why it makes S++. So if you have a disagreement with any of these choices, leave a comment. If you like any of them, also leave a comment. I think the one I'm going to see the most about is the wizard, but if you want to get to me or chat to me and discuss something properly, join the Discord. We're closing on 100 Discord members, and that would be really cool to see in the next few days. And I'd also love to see you at my 3k live stream, which will be announced when it's quite obvious when and what kind of time I'm going to hit 3k. Hopefully it's halfway through October at the latest, but I can only get so many subs as I can get. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.